right. Says I will be live soon. Status. Hello, everyone. Welcome to It Takes a Community to Build a Tech Ecosystem. My name is Jeff Lawrence. I am the Director of Work-Based Learning for Code Differently. So at Code Differently, we have multiple programs teaching students and adults how to code. In this particular instance, we have a group of high school students and one college student uh, who have taken on a project that to help better their community. They have formulated an app from start to finish, conception to development, and they're going to talk about the things that they have done to prep for this app, the thought process behind the app, and the things that they have done in prep to get everything together for the app. They have been working on the app for about a month and a half, 2 months. They've been working every afternoon, 3 to 4 days a week, 12 hours a week. They've also been working with volunteers from JP Morgan Chase that come in and help us, help the students answer questions. There are developers from JP Morgan Chase, project managers, just to give the students a different feel and connect them with some people in the workforce. I am going to be here just answering questions that come up in the chat, but I am going to turn it over to Jessica Padone. She is a junior at William & Mary College, and she is the head of the team that you will be meeting today. So if you have any questions, please feel free to jot them in the chat and I will answer them. Oh, and also just a quick mention. Some of the students have also been accepted to a summer internship with JP Morgan Chase, and they will be starting that next month. It's a great partnership, and it gives the students a lot of exposure to real world coding and experience. All right. With that, I'm going to hand it over to Jessica, and I'm going to sit back.
Thank you, Jeff. Hi, everyone. Like Jeff said, my name is Jessica, and I am the college student working with Code Differently and this team. I've been with Code Differently for a few months now, and I'm super excited for these developers to show the really cool stuff that they've been working on. Like Jeff mentioned as well, the team was tasked with creating a web application that would solve a problem or have a positive impact on their community. And as most of these devs are high school seniors, that naturally the future was on their mind. So you will see how that had an impact on their app idea. I don't want to spoil too much. I want them to be able to explain it all to you. So Brian, Sebastian, and Liz are going to be talking you through the process that they've been going through the past few months, highlighting some of the tools that they have used, and at the end, I'll be showing you their product so far. So with that, Brian, whenever you are ready, go ahead and get us started.
All right, so our main goal of this project was to create a web application that provided some service to our local communities in Delaware. So our process through doing that was we started out brainstorming ideas. Pretty much each team member kind of gave their perspective on what we should pretty much start on. And then we were really just thinking, how can we directly affect our community? What problems can we solve? Is there something we could make of use? Then we narrowed down some ideas through brainstorming, and our original ideas started out as refurbishing abandoned homes for homeless, and then an app for underprivileged athletes that can't afford to play sports, an app to pay off student loans via community service hours, and then the app that we actually chose, which was an app to show what careers that can be offered for different students. So it was kind of educating them on that and helping them choose their career path. And then we started out as a career focused platform, and then we switched to more college. So we're kind of educating on like colleges and offering that type of education. and then we scaled back. We were thinking of just doing the Delaware area, just because it's a little more realistic. So that's what we kind of focused on. Then we pretty much see. So we all three of us kind of chose this because um we all kind of struggled ourselves trying to find what should we do with our careers, and it was kind of just hard. There wasn't really much information out there, so we decided to kind of solve that problem that we had ourselves. Um, we spent a lot of time diving into details, kind of researching like the market of kind of really like what's out there, what's our competitors. We kind of listed out our features, organized our pages, grouped similar features together. We learned about user stories when we worked with JP Morgan, and they helped us guide us through user stories in that process. Then we managed our requirements through Trello, kind of signing everyone through different tasks, kind of keeping on task there, and then we set long term goals as well as short term goals on what needed to be done, so we can kind of get everything done in order. Then we organized our research and questions. We presented our project to the rest of the dev shop because we have in the rest of the dev shop we have other people also working on other projects. So we were able to get feedback as in return, as well as insights from what the other team is working on. And then we continued to work on wireframes with Figma. We started, with a low fidelity wireframe, and then we had each team member on the page track through Trello. Then we continued to improve and evolve each page. Um, then we compared different layouts to decide which one looks better. We all kind of like voted on that, created a logo for the web page, and then we started with our high fidelity wireframing, which was pretty much kind of just getting the details in there and the finishing touches. Then we went on to choose colors, then kind of get the consistency for all the pages. Then the we started with we start and after that we started coding in VS Code. Pretty much what we visioned in Figma. Pretty much, we use GitHub to track our versions. Each team member had their own branch, so we were able to push and merge. That was kind of that's how we keep it organized. Then we were learning continuously in Terminal to push and commit our projects at the end of each day. Then we made good use of the inspection tool in Google and Live Server in VS Code to make sure our code was working. Then we also helped each other out for troubleshooting and stuff. So we made use of our team members. And pretty much like reflection wise, I think if we had more time, we would kind of implement more career options in Delaware into our app, and then possibly add a API with maybe like a message feature, and then some more, just more like personal. We have enough more time, then we look forward to focusing on that. And pretty much, I'm going to share with you guys our brainstorming document to show you kind of what our brainstorming process was like. So pretty much, yeah, this is our brainstorming document. So these are kind of the ideas that before we settled on an idea, we really went through and wrote out all the details to just see, like what works, what doesn't. We came up with the four original ideas, but we only settled on one, which was the careers, but that soon became the college. So it was an app to educate the kids on different colleges. So yeah, we pretty much went further into detail with that as we listed, all the features, from the forgot password link to, we kind of got every single thing that we were looking for in here. So yeah, we kind of, organized it by the home page, what all the questions we were asking, what the user was supposed to do, all the features that they'd be able to interact with. Then we kind of went with like the different tabs. Like we got like a resume builder, stuff like that, job reviews. Yeah. So then we pretty much, yeah, these are like some also some ideas that we kind of were working through. Um, we had like some questions that we were asking each other, kind of just really going through, making sure everything works properly. Let's see. Yeah, so we were kind of really just going through everything, making sure that we had the full vision. We didn't forget anything. These are the tabs we actually have here. Really, kind of like what all the pages we're going to include and stuff. So that's that. And I think we got this is our Trello board that we used. So this,
So in our Trello, yeah, we have a bunch of tabs where we keep organized, like the tasks that we're going to do during the week, what we have to do during that day. We have backlogs of the stuff that we have to do, and well, we've also have a section for blockers if we have any problems that we need to solve. And we've also have like a section where we have what we have done already so that everyone knows what we have finished and what we can move on to. Um, we have like some questions that maybe we need to go over, and our wireframings and epics, as well as like some APIs resources.
yeah. So pretty much, then we have our. This is pretty much our. I think Sebastian, are you doing this?
Yeah, but if you could show them the wireframe first, just so a little glimpse of it, so I can explain that.
Forgot about that.
So, so one of the main essential parts in really assembling this app was to obviously structure it, to kind of understand where we were heading towards design, how the pages would be structured, how it would look like, and so as you can see. Um, we had different segments of what each part of the website how it was going to be structured. So Brian, if you could zoom in on the little on the nav bar, please. So okay, cool. Thank you. So here we that was basically our like sort of that was our beginning structure of it. We had the sign up and the sign in. And so we also had the logo. And this was more into the prototype stage of our development with our app. We wanted to kind of have a common ground of as to what the nav bar would look like. And if you, as you'll see soon, it kind of looks a little bit different than it does on here. So also, Brian, if you could just zoom out a little bit so we can kind of show the home page of the Figma. All right, so that basically what we did here was we compared what the home page would look like, and as I said before, this was all in the prototype stage. So a lot of what you're seeing right now, especially like with the rough edges of it, it's very different from what it was to now. Like if you look at the app, so obviously here we had the about. We wanted those two images represented both the student and the professional and the users. Those are the main two type of user interfaces we had. And we'll get to that in a minute as well. And that's basically what our homepage looked like. And Brian, if you could just zoom in, zoom out. Okay, cool. Right there. And so this was our the sign up page. So as I explained before, there was two types of user interfaces. There was the professional and there was a student. And so we wanted to kind of structure each one a little bit differently regarding credentials and regarding like what would happen for both user interfaces to sign up differently. And so this was our design. This is what we chose. And yeah, that's basically for the sign up and sign in process. And also, this is our profile page. So each user is going to have their own profile. They'll have a short bio. They can kind of edit it how they want. They can put anything. And so as you see here, they'll have their profile picture, their full name, and over there it'll say if they're a student or professional. And you have you can put your credentials. You can put where you went to school, if you're a professional, or even as a student. Just some short, appropriate bio about who you are, and just so you can kind of adjust those details as well. And this is also our favorites page. So as Brian mentioned earlier, we were originally career encompassed. However, things changed, and so we decided to go towards the college route of structuring this website. So really, what you're seeing right now, those are like what you would favor. So for example, if there is a specific college, if you wanted to favor that, there is like a star in which you clicked it, and then that way it'll be on your favorites page, and you see there's a drop down menu. There'll be job favorites and also college favorites. And so as you're exploring both different pages, the explore colleges and the job search, you can kind of see which ones you like the most, and then that way you can save them, and that database is already there for you. So if you want to go back to that. And this was what so this is what it looked like right here. The college finder, the explore colleges, as we finalized what that page would be called. And so this was one of our prototype stages, as I mentioned before. What it would look like if you're scrolling down, finding colleges. Now, something to take into account was that prior to our progress right now, we didn't kind of finalize with the idea that, okay, we're just settling with only the colleges in Delaware. We were originally going to go with the other colleges nationwide. However, that proved to not be as feasible as we had anticipated. So we just decided it was more time efficient to just do for the Delaware colleges. And this is our additional resources page, but as you'll see later on, it's going to look completely different. And I'll also explain the additional resources pages when Brian goes to the website. So I think that's it for now for wireframing. So if Brian, you can just go to the actual app itself.
Yes.
All right, cool. So I designed the homepage. As you can see, this is the homepage right now. And Brian, as you saw, Brian hovered over that image, which I created a little hover feature, so that way it was kind of more of an attention getter, more of like the hook for whoever's on the website, or as the moment they jump in on the website, whether it doesn't matter what the user is, they'll be met with this. And as you see with that blue button, it says explore colleges or browse colleges. That will take you to the browse colleges tab, which is right there. And so it takes you there. And if Brian, you can just, okay, cool. And if you just scroll down, you'll see that I gave a little insight of what each kind of user would be doing. So as you see for the first paragraph, that is for the student user, and for the second one, that is for the professional user. And if you scroll down as well, you'll see that we have our footer, and you'll see we have home, browse colleges, job search, and resume tips, college match survey, and financial aid tips, which are all in those three combined are into our additional resources. So Brian, if you could just click resume tips real quick. Awesome. So we understand that for students, it's a big step finding a job, and quite frankly, it can be definitely daunting if you're not prepared. And so the reason why we wanted to create additional resources was because We understand that students need a foundation, right? They need some sort of support to understand how to really get themselves through the door. And so I created this, we created the resume page. I also created this page right here. I basically gave like a couple tips on how to structure your resume, the do's, the don'ts, what you should write on it. Basically, just a quick outline of really like why you want to write your resume and how you want to write it. So that way, when students can already be prepared and equipped with this knowledge, that way it's more efficient for them in the future, right? And for the other additional resources pages, as you saw, it was the college match survey and the financial aid. The college match survey is definitely crucial for any students who are kind of confused as to which career path they want to go to or which college is right for them. And so that gives another resource for them to sort of take advantage of. And also financial aid, it is definitely a big issue right now for many students. It's a confusing issue, let alone to say the least, because, how many students are just so, mind boggled and they don't know what to do when it comes to financial aid. They're just confused. It's like, where do I start? How do I, where can I begin? And so we haven't created those 2 pages yet, but we are in the process of building them and developing them. So though that was kind of the motivation for those pages.
Well, as you saw from the homepage, once you click Browse Colleges, it takes you to the Explore Colleges page where you're able to see the 8 colleges that are here in Delaware, since we chose to focus in only the colleges from Delaware. So each college is inside a different container. And if you click on the Learn More button, it takes you to more of the specifics of the page. So it tells you the name of the college, whether it's a public or private school, the location, and the tuitions in and out of state, the acceptance rates, as well as the average ACT and SAT scores required. As you can see below the pictures, it has a visit the website button, which when you click on it, it takes you to the official website of the college page where you can get more information. And well, if we go back to the web app, you can see there's a star next to the name and below the website. It's there to add to favorites, which is another page where you can see all of the favorite colleges that you have. So far, it doesn't work, but if you go back to the Browse Colleges page, on the top, it says View Your Favorite Colleges with a button that once you click on it, it should take you to the favorites page. And once you're on the favorites page, you can click on whether you want to view your job favorites or your college favorites, which as of right now does not work, but we are in the process of making it work. Joey, do you want to talk about the page?
I can speak about this page. So this page is similar to the Browse Colleges page because they have the same card aspect. So essentially, these cards will tell you the position title, the company name, and the button that says more information is very similar to the Learn More button about the colleges. So when you click on this button, it could bring you to a separate page showing you all about the pay rate for this job, the benefits, some of the requirements, and everything that's included with it. And this page is also currently under development as well. But in the future, we plan to add an image of someone doing the profession or the job, someone in the middle of doing work. So, for example, if the position was a software developer, then you could have an image of somebody computing code onto the computer.
So next we got our sign up and login page. This is pretty much where the user inputs their information. So for here we got an email. password, and then your full name. And then you would pretty much check off if you're a student or a professional. And then for the login, we have pretty much just your username and your password. And then we have those good features like, forgot password and then don't have an account. And that will actually take you back to the create an account page. And yeah, that's this is our app, College Scouter. So if you guys have any questions, we'd love to answer them.
Thank you, guys. Brian, why don't you go ahead and stop sharing your screen? Okay. So that is, thank you guys. Thank you guys. I mean, as you can see, that they've put in a lot of thought and effort into creating this application. Some of there, in case you wanted to know, what was the next? Okay, I will. Dan, give me 1 second. I will answer. So they're also, all the code is done in VS Code. They have, and using GitHub, they have become very proficient in GitHub and doing pushes and pull requests and merges. The lot of work that they have put in, and as you see, there's still work to be done. We only have the students for 12 hours a week. So you can see the amount of work that they've been able to put in that short period of time. What's next for them? If I'm not mistaken, they're graduating. Lisa, they're graduating, and I believe they are going to college for tech-related majors. Is that right? Lisa, where are you going to school? I mean, Lisbeth, I'm sorry. Where are you going to school?
Well, I'm actually still figuring it out, but I did get accepted to Delaware State University, so probably going there.
What about you, Sebastian?
I'm enrolling. I want to enroll to Del Tech in information technology, a major.
Okay. Brian.
I'm really interested in like freelancing, so I might start out doing that, kind of dipping my toes in working with that. So
All right, Joseph.
I'm going to UD in the fall.
All right, so we have a question, and Jessica is already enrolled in college. She's at William and Mary. The beauty of using Zoom and being able to be remote is that Jessica can be in Virginia, and we're here. So we have a question from Joanne. What was the biggest challenge you faced, and how did you solve the problem? Who wants to take that one?
Take this one. I think the biggest problem that all of us faced together as like a whole was definitely when we first started using GitHub. That was definitely a big issue because there was a lot of problems with forking repositories and then creating them. And probably merging all of our code together was the biggest problem that we had.
Okay. And how did you solve it?
Well,
you just figured out how to merge the problem. I mean, that makes it simple. Let's see. Have a question from Annie. Are you interested in continuing to do this kind of work, or are you looking at a Figma file again? Or are you never looking at a Figma file again? Sorry. Are you guys interested in continuing in this line of work in the future? Or are you done? Have you had enough in moving on to different things?
If I can, or if anyone else wants to answer this one, but if not, I can answer. I definitely am interested. At first, it was definitely very difficult. It was definitely very different from what I was doing at my at the tech school, at high school I'm in right now. The reason why I'm interested in pursuing this kind of work is because it's very challenging. And at first, when I first saw like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, my brain melted. Like at first, I was like, "There's no way I'm doing this ever again." But now that I'm really like understanding the fundamentals, starting to really understand like how challenging this can be, that's kind of what attracts me more towards like software development, because it not only provides a challenge for me for myself, but it's also something interested I am. It's something I'm very interested in as well, because it's, I mean, basically coding and is sort of kind of the infrastructure of many things like websites, even games, anything really on the internet. Coding is like sort of the root, and so I really was interested in learning more about that. And so, yes, I am interested in pursuing this line of work.
Okay. Now I don't know if we have a hard stop at 2 o'clock. Well, we have reached 2 o'clock. So to not go over our time and have me getting in trouble later, I want to thank you all for attending. I want to thank you guys for doing the presentation. And I hope you all enjoy the rest of the conference. And thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.